Scythe Life Radio. 1 second, y'all. I'm just trying to bring this all up here. Let me close this.
Hold on, give me a second. Wait, can you hear me?
I can hear you perfectly. Sister, can you hear me?
No, I couldn't hear you. Hold on. I can hear you now, but hold on.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Hold on, let me figure out how to get these headphones in.
Don't worry about it. Everybody, we have her on the line. You can't see her yet.
Talk again.
Check. Can you hear me?
Oh, this ain't that either. Damn.
Girl, I went crazy trying to get this mic right earlier today.
I'm about to do it just without it. Say something again.
This is me. What's good, Shay?
Okay, I can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
I don't know why it's not working with headphones. Let me see something. Hey, turn this on. Let me see something.
Check.
What?
Can you hear me?
I don't know what's going on with these dumbass headphones.
I feel you, sister. I went through hell trying to get you set up today, so I more than understand. Can you hear me though through that? Because we can hear you perfectly fine.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, you said the Skype wasn't working?
Nah, man. It was just bringing the Skype in through the OBS, and at first we tried to do it through Skype last night, and every time we were talking, it sounded mad, freaking staticky. So then today we went to Zoom, and for Zoom and OBS, you got to download a bunch of plugins and stuff. So it was crazy, man. I'm an MC. I know how to grab a mic and rhyme in a cipher. I have no idea what to do behind the boards or with engineering, yo. I'm stupid, so thank God.
I got to work to the headphones.
All right. Bob. Everybody, we want to salute the Gawdess is in the house. I call her Buffalo's bar goddess. CHÉ NOIR freaking has one of the top albums this year in a year full of dope hip hop. Sister, I am voting it into my top 5 at WVCC Scythe Life Radio. We're giving it 5 mics. Representing Buffalo, representing Trust Family, CHÉ NOIR, y'all. I'm sorry, it's CHÉ NOIR, right?
CHÉ NOIR, yeah, CHÉ NOIR. There's a hyphen over the E. A lot of people miss that.
I've been calling you CHÉ NOIR to all my audience down here in South Florida for the last year. Yeah, my bad.
Yeah, no, it's all good. I got different names, man.
I was Tuesday
Shea
going.
Butter Queen.
The Butter Queen.
CHÉ NOIR, CHÉ NOIR.
That's what I thought, because my daughter watches a lot of Cat Noir and stuff, so I'm like, oh, CHÉ NOIR, that's dope. She's like the Black Che, dog. That's fire. So how's Tuesday going for you, sister?
It's going good. It's going pretty good. It was a very productive day today for me. How about yourself?
That's what I like to hear. I learned how to program audio into OBS from Zoom. I set up my first Zoom meeting. We've gone through the whole quarantine, and I had to admit to your publicist, I'm sorry, I've never set up a Zoom meeting before. We went through the whole quarantine. I still haven't been on Zoom, yo. So yeah, I'm completely out of it.
Yeah, no, that's all I've been using.
Oh, word. So you're a pro at this then, but
yeah.
So we want to thank you for being with us. WVCC, we started a year ago, man. We are a small underground pirate hip hop station that believes in keeping indie hip hop alive, man, when it's getting pushed out by the corporate sound and just by people not being tapped into good hip hop. I know you hear it all the time. Hip hop is dead and stuff, and we want to provide people with proof that hip hop is still alive and well. And I want to thank you, sister, because being a young sister like you are keeping hip hop alive and well, man. So I salute you, and all my fans salute you. All my fans are gassing over you, and everybody's giving you salute now, man. So thank you so much for rocking here with us. Just so you know, like I said, we are a circle of just indie MCs, indie hip hop heads, producers, DJs. We grew up from the ground up, and I love to see that you are that kind of artist. When I promote you to people, I let them know this isn't a female rapper, right? This isn't a girl who's selling her assets to try to be famous and get money, right? This is an MC who trained in this art and grew up in her pen and stuff. And I'd like to start off the interview by asking, from MC to MC, at what age did you write your first rhyme, yo?
I wrote my first rap when I was 16.
At
Wrote
16?
my first 16 at 16.
All right.
Some corny shit like that. But yeah, no, I wrote my first rap at 16.
And how could you say what are you now? 26? I'm sorry. I know I'm not
26, yeah.
26, right? I know I'm not supposed to date
Yeah.
age women and stuff, but from 94 and you saying I was
No, it's
born in
fine.
94. Wow.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
how would you say since writing your first rap, how has your method and style of writing and tools of writing evolved since then?
I mean, I started out writing in notepads, and I've developed into writing it in my phone, and now I'm at a point where I've even written raps comfortably just off the top of my head.
Word.
Most of the songs that I did for the album with Apollo were kind of like written because I had more time to sit and remember and actually write it, so I didn't have to write anything down. It was really just coming off of my head. Like he'll tell you, like when I was in the studio, most of the time I wasn't reading off my phone. I just was going off of just you know me already knowing the songs and knowing what I wanted to say once I got into the studio.
For our
But just that and
ahead,
confidence comes from that though.
Definitely.
Just being comfortable enough to do all of that.
What for our MCs watching and stuff? What would you advise them with that? Because I do know that you feel a lot more confident with your song when you know that back and forth, and you're able to go in there and spit it with that fire. And now in this age where, I mean, you see Drake in the studio spitting his rhyme, freaking off his phone on the radio and stuff, and people have gotten used to that. And what would your advice be to young MCs coming up that are dependent so heavily on their phones and writing?
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. It's times where I'm in the studio and I gotta write a verse real quick. I'm not gonna sit there and try to memorize that a verse that I just wrote on the spot. I'm gonna put it in my phone and do what I gotta do and go on about my day. Like it's nothing wrong with it, but I just seen like you can just hear the difference in this Apollo album, and a lot of it with the flow and just the confidence. A lot of it is because like went in knowing like not even like I knew what I wanted to say on my other projects, but it just was a little different. I had a little more time to think about what I really wanted to say. So that just brought the confidence level on a different level for me for this one. So I mean, there's nothing wrong with like you got to do whatever works for you. There's people that still writing notepads and notebooks. If that's your way of getting what you got to say out, do it. Like I don't see anything wrong with it.
I'll be dead up. I don't know how many notebooks I've lost, how many composition notebooks I've lost and are out there. And I used to think, oh, somebody's gonna be spitting my rhyme in the studio. Nobody ever spit my rhyme. But now I depend so much on my phone that and I'm writing so heavy this year that I'm like, yo, I gotta slow down and memorize some of these joints because like now it's comfortable because we got home recording studios and stuff, and you go to the lab real quick, especially now in the corona time. We're recording a lot at home so you could get it out there, but when it's time to go back out there and perform again, you got to have those joints down and be ready to rock on the spot, man. So I was checking out the Mike Powers interview, and shout out to the homie Mike Powers. He does a wonderful series on YouTube. Check him out. Just go to YouTube, search Mike Powers, and he did a wonderful 2-part interview with you, Che. And you touch really lightly on a point that I would love to know more about, and I know a lot of my listeners would like to know more about how you came up in Buffalo in the underground cipher and an MC showcase scene. Take us through that young phase of CHÉ NOIR making a name for herself in the streets of Buffalo.
I mean, I started just really putting in the footwork and touching in with these a lot of local showcases that were going on in the town. Selling tickets, doing promotion for it, and getting on the stage and rocking them out. Most of the shows that I've done, I mean, I've performed at some empty shows before, but most of the showcases I was able to get on, they were selling out, so I was able to perform in front of a decent amount of people.
That's fire.
What's
that local community like out there in Buffalo with the hip hop community out there?
Um,
Because we over here we see the Griselda videos and we see the Trust videos and stuff, and we feel like if you walk out on the street in Buffalo, you're gonna get shot and stuff, right? But well, I'm sure that, I mean, the scene you guys grew up in, there's a lot of dope spitters coming out of Buffalo right now. So I know the scene over there, the community must be, I mean, some heavy shooters. So what was that like? Everybody coming up.
I mean, we have a really dope hip hop scene. Um, I didn't really see it thriving as much when I was more of out there putting the footwork in. I think this was back 2014, 2015-ish. Like Griselda didn't even have a shady deal at that time.
Yeah, of course. Mm-hmm.
It was we definitely got some heavy spitters out here, but I seen more of the hip hop scene. I can only speak for what I seen. I didn't see it really thriving until Griselda started making it more mainstream, getting some just some media attention.
Gotcha.
Once people seeing that, that's when okay, the scene, and even like different events they were putting together. You know, like different annual showcases that they were putting together that I had never seen or heard about before that point.
Okay.
So, but we have a really dope hip hop scene. Even Niagara Falls. Niagara Falls is where I actually, when I moved out here, this was the first time I had really noticed like young producers,
Word.
dancers, like getting in, like kind of like really touching the music shit.
Okay.
That was really my first time really experiencing that when I moved out here. So I seen it kind of young out here. They were like 13, 14-year-old music producers out here. Like
Wow.
they had songs on the radio and everything.
Get
like
out of
it
here.
was it was a different scene. But yeah, I mean it was dope to see that. We got some heavy spitters, but coming up in Buffalo.
So now with the emergence of Griselda getting the big deal, and now their household name and they're everywhere, are you saying that now shows go on and more than just the small hip hop community, the small 100 come out now the venue's packed, right? Where it looks, whereas before it would be a good.
Everybody wanted to rap.
Yeah.
Everybody started, or I wouldn't even say it's some people that just started taking it a little bit more serious.
Because now we can do that
that gave
too.
the town hope. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, that gave our city hope. Like, I talk about this a lot. Like, Buffalo and Niagara Falls is not no, like, we don't have buildings that you can go into and talk to A&Rs to get record deals, or you don't see A&Rs at showcases and talent shows out here. So for somebody to make it out, that was a lot of hope for us. Because I remember even when I first started taking my music serious, I remember telling my engineer, I was like, I don't know how far we're gonna go with it, but we're gonna
ride
see
it to
how far it could take us. Because I just didn't see it happening. Like, as far as staying there, because you got some people that leave, they'll go to LA or they'll go to Atlanta or to the city to make it. But our plan was to stay home, still do our music, and try to. And I just was like, I don't know how far we're gonna be able to go with it, but we can figure it out, But
God, you kept pushing. It's similar like that in Miami, where Miami's a huge city, but when it comes to our lane of hip hop, if you ain't doing some clubby joints, if you ain't doing some what the labels want of the dirty sound, trap sound and joints, if you're just trying to do some dope hip hop or something different, I mean, we go out to a festival like Calle Ocho over here, and there's millions out on the street, can't even walk. And then you go out to a hip hop show and there's 40, 50 in the crowd and stuff, right? So it's a struggle to keep that alive. So it's the same thing. And a lot of the dope artists from here, they feel like, and in a huge state like Florida, they feel like, yo, we got to leave here in order to get put on, man.
Exactly.
So it's the same dynamic with that. I wanted to touch a little because I'm sure a big part of your journey in you blowing up to the part that you're at now is the homie 38 Spesh. When I first saw you, actually, I thought you and 38 Spesh were a group together, and I said, yo, check out this dope. And I thought you guys were brother and sister, actually. I'm like, yo, check out this dope brother and sister group I just found out, sharing with everybody. And I didn't know he was your producer. Hold on. I got a picture of 38 Spesh right here I want to throw on. And I want to thank everybody for rocking with WVCC Life Radio. We are here with the Gawdess CHÉ NOIR. And I thank you guys for putting up with my slow editing time. Bam. Got CHÉ NOIR family there. Bam. So 38 Spesh, fantastic MC, fantastic producer, a mogul in the
Yes.
making. Holy Jesus, what he has done with you
Yes.
guys, fantastic. What was it like? How'd you connect with 38, and what was it like getting mentored by him?
So I connected through with him through Facebook Messenger.
Stop lying.
I sent them a song. I swear I sent them a song through Facebook Messenger, and he got back to me. We talked on the phone for like 30 minutes, and he told me he wanted me to come out to Rochester, which is an hour away from where I'm at.
All right.
So me and my cousin, we got in the car, drove an hour out to Rochester, and we had a meeting with him. That very first meeting that I had, he told me he wanted me to be a part of the team. A few months later, we announced it, and I was on the. It was announced that I was on the Son of G rap project.
Okay.
The song with me, Spesh, and Anthony Hamilton, produced by DJ Premier. That was a dream come true for me.
Holy Jesus, girl. That's your first
Yeah,
introduction to the.
yeah, man, that was my
Wow.
first introduction. But that's how we connected through that. And we just kind of like been building. We have been building since then. Being mentored by him, he's taught me so much. Just not even really just about music, but more about the business behind it. Um, because I've always been told it's 10% music,
Yes.
90% business. And he's done an amazing job at um, just informing me and guiding me through this. Because I'm a girl, I'm a woman, so me going into these meetings and sitting down with different people and people throwing contracts at
Yeah.
me, it's easy to take advantage of a new artist,
Yes.
especially, and I think it's more easier when you're a
Any
woman.
young
Um,
artist, any young artist, any artist of your age, and then you add on to that a woman, right? Man, it.
it's crazy, but he knows that, and he's even had conversations with me about that. So he's an amazing mentor. He's like a big brother. He's an amazing role model in that sense. And yeah, I just look forward to just continue building um, this empire that I've watched him build in front of me. I look forward to being a part of this.
Well, you are
Being part of history.
huge part of it. I mean, what man? Do you know how blessed you are? What you go, you get
Yeah.
signed and picked up by 38 Spesh, and your first track on his album, which is Son of Cool G, right, is with
Hmm.
38 Spesh. Anthony Hamilton singing on it. Holy
Yeah.
and Primo on the beat.
Primo, yep.
Sister, wow.
Crazy.
Real quick question because I got a lot of, like I said, a lot of listeners that are MCs, older cats in my era, younger cats that are coming up under us, and a lot of these younger cats, and especially the era today, they're a lot on. There's a real big disconnect, unlike how it was in our, at least in my coming up. We would lean on our vets. We would lean on our elders and learn from them and study, and we would get our cocotazos from them and stuff. They didn't play right, but we learned from them, right? Where now it's a complete disconnect where we don't have to learn from our elders. So it's really dope that you talk about that mentorship role, and as a young MC coming into it, what would you advise young MCs when in learning from an older generation or being able to be mentored and not thinking that you know it all?
Um, like as far as the advice I would give them, I mean, I grew up around like a bunch of like OGs, um, a lot of people like older cats in the neighborhood that was making money, had a lot of wisdom on them. I was a kid, like 9, 10 years old, having like not deep conversations, but they was telling me some deep shit very
Shit, for
young.
real?
So I've always soaked that in, and I've always seen how imperative it is to have um, a OG or older person around you with some wisdom and sense to guide and teach you. Because I've never been a know-it-all. I know it's just a lot for me to learn. Um, but I don't know. That's just something that's been instilled in me since I was young. So I just look at it like, they're at a place that I want to be at, so why not listen to them?
Word.
It's one thing for me to try to go to somebody who's never asked advice from someone who's never even been to where I'm trying to go. That's like asking directions from a person who to that's like asking directions to a place from someone who's never been there before. It's not really and it's not anything they can really provide for me. So Spesh is at a place that I want to be. He has that mentality that I you know and a lot of the things that he know about the music business, these are things that I'm trying to learn. So I've always been open to taking even his criticism. Like I tell this story a lot. Like the song that I had with Anthony Hamilton, my first introduction, I had a verse that I had sent to Spesh, and he just was like, I need you to rewrite this.
Wow.
That was really my first experience, like with some, like, because
now, I like that story. Like, I believe that story freaking first before the oh yeah, my first track I was with Anthony Hamilton Primo. I'm like, don't hit me with that, man.
Oh no, he made me rewrite that. Yeah, he made me rewrite that verse. Like,
that's fire.
And I didn't know how to take. Like, I remember sitting back and I just was like, I don't even know how to take this. Like what he's saying, but I get what he was saying. He's like, I'm gonna push you. You know what I'm saying? Because I know you could do better than that. So. Word. Having that part, I'm not like I don't want a bunch of yes men around me in my corner. Like he keep it a buck with me. So and the results show it. So
well, definitely it's showing on this new album and everything you're putting out with them, sister. Another when you're talking about you don't want a bunch of yes men around you, it brings me right to my next point. I can't mention 38 Spesh without mentioning the empire that he has built. Please let my audience out there put them on game. Who is Trust Family? I think, what do you guys roll, like 50 deep? I saw that video of you and Flea Lord dressed in white, and I'm here like, holy shit, who the hell? Yo, so who all is in Trust Official or Loose and stuff? And tell us about your experience being surrounded by such a hungry pack of shooters out there.
Well, Trust Family, I mean, a lot of those people that you're referring to in that video, they have their own individual situations.
Okay.
Like they're not like from my understanding, they don't have any official contract or ties.
That was my next question.
It's more of like a family and just what I'm saying, like just a family level type thing.
Gotcha. Yeah,
family level understanding. I should say.
That was one of my questions because like I see you doing the As God Intended with Apollo Brown and the Mello music, so it's I see that it's not a contractual with Trust label and it's only coming out here, but I see Trust Family as a crew of MCs, a family of MCs, and everybody that you guys got in there working together. I mean, every time I hear the different artists on each other's songs and stuff, and all the music you guys been putting out has been fantastic. So let the audience know, and I mean, this more for my geeky self and stuff. What's it been like building with those shooters and how that's pushed your pen?
Man, it's amazing. Majority of the time I'm the only female that's in the studio. So me being surrounded around a bunch of sharpshooter men, and they ain't letting up. You know what I'm saying? They ain't like, oh no, we ain't gonna. They don't have this whole mentality like, okay, when they see Shay come in the studio, okay, we gotta ease up.
We gotta ease up. Nah.
I want to kill her too. Hell no, they don't do that. They come with their best shit, so I gotta come with mine. It's helped push my pen more, especially being in a studio with Spesh. Like, he's a savage.
He is.
That man is not letting nobody breathe on no track. So when I come and I know he gonna be on the same song, I gotta make sure, But I'm like that with anything I do. I don't have nothing is lightweight for me. I don't have any light bars. I go in, like I said when I did the DJ Booth interview. Like I said, I go in like I know Jay-Z about to listen to that during the next day. So I stay with a sharp pen, and being surrounded by spitters like Planet Asia, 38 Spesh, Benny too. It's been plenty of times I've been in the studio with Benny and I'm just like, oh shit, okay, let me make sure my shit right. Like, that's helped push me. It's brought that ambitious side out of me. So Hell yeah, that shit's
Well, definitely. I gotta tip my hat to you, sister, because anytime I see your name on a song, on a Trust album, or featured on
mm,
somebody's song, you
mm,
outshine, sister. And that's not to ever take anything away from Flea. That's not to take any away from El Camino. You just, yo, I mean, it's the voice, the pen, the maturity in the bars, the delivery. I mean, you just, yo, salute, man, because you do not sound intimidated at all. You came to work and you put in that work for the crew, man. So
mm-hmm.
now that we're touching on the crew, I know Fred the Godson was a huge part of Trust. God rest his soul. We lost a huge part of hip hop and the future of hip hop this year. Can you tell our audience at home story or just a little insight on Fred the Godson as a human being and as somebody? I mean, we all have crews, all the MCs here, so we surround ourselves with good people and good work ethic people to make us better. So can you tell us a little bit about that since you were able to compliment?
Man, so the first time I met Fred was 2018 at the Son of G Rap Show, and I think it was June of 2018. I met him at the Son of G Rap Show, and I remember when I was walking out, um, came up to me and introduced himself. I had already knew who he was, but he came and introduced himself as anyway. And he was just like just showing me some love, like telling me that he really felt for me, and just telling me to keep going. And I asked him for a picture. He let me take a picture with him or whatever. But he just was a humble, cool dude. And then fast forward a year later, we started working together. Just from affiliation with Spesh and with Trust and everything. And again, just a real humble, cool guy. Like super one of the most genuine people I've came across in this business so far. And just the love that he used to show to Spesh, um, you know, he was different. He definitely was a vibe, and he's truly blessed. I prayed for his family when the situation happened. But yeah, the last song that me and him got together was "Strings of Pain," and uh, that song.
What's that on for all my listeners so we could check that out? I want to put that in the
It's on
next mix.
it's on everything. It's on Apple Music,
No, but Strings of
Spotify, YouTube.
what album was that off of? Strings of Pain, or was that just a single?
That was on. I think that was on. Hold on, don't give me the line. Let me see. That was
I try not to make you
on
lie. And with what
Trust Army.
on the Trust
That
Army,
was
the
on
last
Trust
one.
Army.
That's the one with
Yeah,
the
the last one that he just put out.
yeah,
Trust Army 2. Army of Trust 2.
Army of Trust with the samurai on the horse and such.
Yep.
Yeah,
No,
okay,
no,
okay.
no. The blue cover. It's like a
The
blue
one with
looking
the
cover.
covered face. The samurai with the
Yeah.
covered face, right? The bandana over his face. I want to check
Yeah.
that. It's funny you were saying that. I I just, of course, we know Fred the Godson from his bars, from his songs, but on the Joel Ortiz and Crooked Eye interview, I don't know if you watch Crook's Corner. I would love to see you on Crook's Corner, by the way. Crook ever
That'd be
see?
dope.
Oh, it's fantastic.
And he knows who I am too. Like he showed me a lot of love before.
Man, I know he's up on you because Crook is
Mm-hmm.
a connoisseur of good artists, man. And when he was talking to
Mm-hmm.
Joel and stuff, they got really into it when they were recorded the Hard album, the new project together. How Fred the Godson was in the studio throughout the whole recording and the impact that he made on Crooked while he was out there, and just they talked more about what a genuine and great guy he was, and what a spirit he was,
Yeah.
man. And I think that's something a lot of times we idolize y'all and we just see you for the rhymes and they're so hard and they can spit a bar like this and stuff. But we're all human beings, man, just expressing and living, and it's really what we do behind the pen and how we treat each other. That's the real quality of ours. So it's great to hear from you,
That's
somebody
a
who
fact.
got to experience them. And I'm sorry, I keep looking at my notebook. I'm mad, unprofessional. I should have it up on my screen or
Now
something.
you're all good.
Let's see here. Let's start talking the new album, y'all. Let's start talking the new album. I followed you since Brooklyn State of Mind video. I got up on you. Pause. I followed the mixtape. It wasn't until Juno though. I was building up, and when I saw Juno was coming out, I'm here like, oof. I gotta hear
Mhm.
a full solo official album, not no mixtape joint. I need a full official
Mhm.
mixtape album by this sister. We gotta push this. Juno came out fire, fantastic. But from Juno to As God Intended, I feel you
Mhm.
went from Goku in in the orange joints and with the black, and you're on Blue Saiyan level right now, sister. I mean, I
Mhm.
listened to that album, and I don't know if you follow battle rap at all, but it's like Geechee Gotti says, every fucking bar, yo. I'm sorry to curse
Mhm.
out there, but yeah, every bar, you are killing it, man. It is just perfectly written. Every song is a story metaphor on something. The first song on the album where you just personify the hood, right? In the Money
Mhm.
Matters, where you personify money. Yo, just a lot of dope material there. How do you feel that you leveled up, or do you feel like you had to level up because now this ain't a trust family thing? This is, I'm doing this on another label. I'm doing this with another producer. I got to show out.
Mhm.
But what was that mindset for you getting ready for this new album?
Well, a lot of it had to do with the fact that I was taking my time with it. When I had my conversation with Apollo, he did tell me, he was like, it's 15 beats I have,
Oh,
and
Apollo Brown
I would
produced
like
that,
to
right?
turn these into, yeah,
Apollo, the,
and
the
and he
Apollo
told me
Brown from
yeah,
from Detroit,
yeah,
right? The fucking
yeah.
master Apollo Brown. What was it like? How did that connection happen, man? Oh, your CHÉ
He
Noir. I
hit me
forgot.
up on Instagram.
Oh, this time he hit you up.
He
You
hit me
didn't.
up on Instagram and told me he was a fan. Yeah, he hit me up. He told me he was a fan of my music. He wanted to work. I thought he was saying he wanted to work on one song, and then he was like, "Nah, I want to. I do whole albums.
Yes, he
He's like, I want to
does.
do an album with you."
He makes people sound like
I
gods.
was like blown away because I was a fan of him. I'm a fan of him. So to have him reach out and want to work, and we connected, like maybe we talked like every week, like maybe a month or two, just trying to feel like he was just really trying to get to know my story, get to know, like, ask me as far as like who I grew up listening to or whatever. But once he started sending me the beats, I seen a difference in the sound. It kind of reminded me of a sound that I kind of pushed when I initially came out, like, back in 2014 on the mixtape scene.
Okay.
Like, just kind of like a soulful sound, like soulful nostalgic type of sound.
Yes.
So yeah, like I was able to take my time. Like the first 5 beats that I got from him, I rode around for like a month just listening to him, just figuring out what I wanted to say.
You
And
so
like, it's so
greedy.
much I want to talk about and touch on. Yeah, it's so much I want to talk about and touch on. Like, I want my content to definitely I want to diversify my content more on this album. So this was my goals back in like September when I first started working on it. So this was September, and I still was working on Juno at the same time. But I said, with this album, like, I got to do something a little different because, every album, every project I put out is a big deal. It's a huge platform. But I said, like, what's a little different is I'm touching in a fan base
Mm-hmm.
that's never heard of me before.
Mm-hmm.
So just to get that experience, I said, I can't fumble this bag. So, but I just sat around, I wrote around, just listened to the beats, and I said, okay, I want to talk about this, I want to talk about that. Like, I wrote down stuff that I wanted to talk about too. Like, then I just went in and just started. My mind just started going nuts and just putting words together, and here we are with an amazing body of work.
Holy Jesus. Holy. I mean, best album in July so far, definitely hands down. I can't listen to. I listened to another one and I'm like, all right, let me go back to this. And I mean, I've been writing. Apollo Brown for me has resurrected. Man, he resurrected Razkaz for me, right? Joel Ortiz with the Mona Lisa was fantastic. The Ghostface Killer
Mm-hmm.
joint. I mean, he is just Apollo Brown's hip hop is good Saturday, Sunday hip hop for me. Like where you would put on some
Mm-hmm.
classics, some oldies on a Saturday and clean house. That's what his hip hop's like to me, man. It's just so feel good,
That's a fact.
and you use it to the best. I mean, you use it as a wonderful canvas you get so open on this album and so transparent. Where before, you were somebody I'd be afraid to say what's up to on the street. I thought you would stab me in my neck. Right now, I'm a little shaking and stuff. If it wasn't for this last album, I wouldn't be smiling. I would have to mean mug you throughout the whole thing and not smile because I thought you would kill somebody and shoot them in the face. But with this album, you really open up about your whole life and you lay it all out. You talk a lot about your family and issues growing up, and I'd like to ask you. I know you mentioned on this album your situation with your moms and your pops, and how it's not even your pops, it's your step pops and stuff. And I learned from the Mike Powers interview that your step pop's been locked up for a long time. Do you know if he's been able to hear the album?
Well, he hasn't because they don't have it on JPay, so
Oh
he
no.
hasn't been able to listen to it. I mean, I used to actually send him like when he's at Collins right now. When he was at Attica, I was able to send him, um, CDs. Or I would go to, what is it, Doris Records, and get them made into tapes, and then send them
Okay.
to Attica. Like I have like mixtapes. I got like 100 mixtapes floating around Attica. Like, but like they don't have it on JPay, so he hasn't been able to listen to any of the new music. My mom has played it on the phone with him, but he can't really hear them because their reception is like horrible. So,
Yeah.
but
So JPay,
yeah,
I know you talked about the JPay program. I guess so up there that's something like you put money in their account through it and stuff, and it's all, and what they could hear music through that too. It's like,
yeah, they can buy things from like buy albums,
word.
but it's up to whoever puts a label out to put it on there. Or I don't know how it works because my first two albums are on there, but these last two ones that I have out, they didn't make it on there. Um, but yeah, they can go through. I can send them emails and stuff through there. Send them emails, videos. Like I have my uncle is I talk to him through there a lot too.
Okay.
I send him like videos of me playing my music in the car because he's been locked up. He's been locked up since I was like 13, so he
Wow.
hasn't heard anything. So
That must be mind
I just
blowing.
recently sent him something. Yeah, yeah, but I send him stuff all the time. We talk through there or whatever. But no, I don't know. It's I guess it's something with the label. Like it's up to them to add it on there. But I think they actually charge a lot more on there. So I don't know how that works. I don't know. I sent something to them, but I guess they couldn't get it on there.
It's not a box that you have to click on the distro kid to make sure it goes there
No,
like.
cause no, I don't. Cause this is not through DistroKid. I know
Yeah,
what
yeah,
you're talking
I know.
about,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
yeah, I don't know how it works. Like with with Juno and everything, that was all through Empire. I don't know how that works as far as how you get it on there though. So
They know their ways. You mentioned your mom, and you talk a lot about your mom on the Cut 94, which is one of our favorite cuts on the station. How your mom brought you up on hip hop, and you were born on the day Illmatic dropped, and she told you the world
facts.
is yours and stuff, and she brought you up listening to Pac. And just this past Saturday, I was chilling with my peoples, us versus the Buff, and Old Head Ed of Brews Beats and Eats. Salute to Old Head Ed. He bought me this huge crowler. Do you see the size of this? Just for measurement,
Gotcha.
CHÉ NOIR. This is a growler or a crowler or something it's called. It's from a local brewery out here called Strange Beast out in Kendall. Salute to Strange Beast. And while we were there, we were talking, and I was mentioning to him, we were all talking about 94, and we were like, yo, he's only 26. And I listened to that song, and she knows she has the same vibe that I grew up with in hip hop. How does that happen with such an age difference? I'm almost 20 years older than you, right? And it's like this sounds like it was written for our generation. She touches it right on the head, and and then I told her she says her mom raised her up on Pac daily and stuff. And I was like, yo, her mom was hood, yo. She was real as hell. She was listening to Pac every day and showing it to her daughter, yo.
Yeah.
So how does your mom feel with you?
DMX.
Yo, how does
Yeah, DMX. Like that's I heard music whatever my mom was playing. DMX, Jay Z. My mom was a huge, she still is, a huge Mary J. Blige fan.
Oh
Like I
yeah.
grew up on a lot of that. I remember when she used to play "What's the 411," and I was like just so intrigued by these hip hop sounding beats
Yes.
and a singer on there, and it just was dope as
Grand
hell.
Poobah on there.
Like,
What's the 411, hun? What's the 411? Oh,
man, Mary was hard, man.
yes, man.
She one of the best. Um, but Sade, Al Green, just a lot of but when I started going, my aunt used to have this house on Federal Street, which is a neighborhood out here in Buffalo. When I started going over my aunt's house a lot, that's when I started listening to people like G Unit,
Okay.
50 Cent, Beanie Siegel, Dipset. When I started going over there, that's when I started listening to that type. Because my mom listened to rap, but I never heard my mom playing G Unit or any of that. You know what I'm saying? That was more of a younger generation type thing. She was more into the 90s rappers. But when I started going over my aunt's house, that's when I started listening to that type of music. Because I got a lot of older cousins that was listening to that. And when I remember when I first heard Beanie Siegel, what was the song? Feel It in the Air.
Yes.
And I remember just being a kid, going back and rewinding it, and just listening to what he was saying. I used to always say it's so dope. He rapped like he having a conversation with you, like. And I used to always be I don't know, that's something I always kind of carry with me even when I started rapping. I'm like, I want to rap like I'm having a conversation with you, like, you know what I'm saying? I don't want it to feel like I'm rapping. And that's the vibe I got from Beanie Siegel, like, and Jay-Z. Jay-Z was good with that. Nas, like, these are my top rappers. So
Nas rhymes in hyperspeed. I mean, that man stops time when he rhymes. But yeah, the greats Jay-Z does it, Hov does it, Beanie, just cats that talk with just an Andre 3000 talks like that, like he's talking to you, and has no care of where the beat are trying to hold them in. He's just talking all over. Fantastic. I love on 94 how you say that G Unit was your Big and Pac, because everybody wanted to shoot each other because 50 got shot.
Listen, you could ask anybody my age, they'll tell you 50 Cent, Get Rich or Die Trying, G Unit movement was like, that was like our Pac and Biggie.
Right?
I'm not lying when I say that. Like, you can ask anybody my age and maybe a little older, they'll tell you. Like,
I remember the era, yo. People wanted to get shot just to be famous and stuff.
Man, 50 Cent made, man, he had people out here ready to get shot.
He made getting shot famous.
Man, he made getting shot cool.
Apollo comes and flips the Common Sense sample on 94. The I Used to Love a sample. Slows it down. Uses the yes, yes, y'all, you don't stop, and on the song, you go along the lines of Common and paying homage and paying honor to the art of MCing and hip hop and the culture. Where do you rate Common on your list? And I only ask that because Common's my number one MC, so I just want to know if there was any correlation or if that was more Apollo on that.
My godmom, she was a huge Common fan. Only Common album I really got into was B.
Word. Classic.
But I'm not gonna say her. I would say Common. I would put him in my top 15.
Word. Just because of his stature and what he's done, I definitely hold.
Yeah, Common didn't really speak to me growing up. That's why I didn't really listen to him until I got older. It's certain rappers that's like in my top 5, top 10 that spoke to me.
Word.
They got songs that got me through some stuff. I just Common music just didn't really speak to me growing up, so I didn't really listen to him like that. But he's an amazing MC. I would definitely bring him in my top 15.
He is a fantastic writer. B-boy, he grew up in the culture. The only reason I really bring him in is to tie a certain thing that rung with me. One of my favorite cuts off the whole album, and it's also because the beat is so different than any of the other cuts on the album. 12th Hour, holy shit. The story you telling on 12th Hour, and Common on his last album, Let Love, he had a song that was similar about a guy coming home or a guy's girl coming home and being suspicious of him cheating and stuff. And it was dope when I first heard it. I heard you going along the story. I'm like, all right, this is along that. But the the M Night Shyamalan twist that you put at the end, girl. I have to tip my cap off to you as writers. As writers, we know that one day maybe we won't write music anymore, but we have a love for writing, and that was just wonderful writing as a story from beginning to end, throwing the twist in there. What was that? What was the process like when you heard that beat and saying, "Okay, I'm gonna take the story this way"?
That was actually one of the first beats he sent, and I remember just sitting with it. I let it sit for a minute because I couldn't figure out what I wanted to write on it. Um, but once I figured out what I wanted to write, it took me. I probably wrote each verse like it took me like maybe an hour or two to write each verse. Um, because once I got started, I just kind of couldn't. Yeah, once I got started, I just couldn't stop. Like it was fun as hell, right?
Apollo Brown will do that to you, yes, man.
I was like, nah, yeah, I was like, I want to have fun with this, like, and I don't know, I just I just went along with everything. I just was thinking like how I want this to end, how I want to say this, where I want to place this part. Like it was like a movie, and I think I watched the movie before that just to kind of, because I'm like, I want people when they hear it, I want them to actually like feel like they watching a movie.
Yes.
So,
and it was just like that.
Yeah.
Man. I have to ask, what Aretha Franklin song are you freaking? What Aretha Franklin ballad are you singing in the shower at that time?
Oh man, one of my favorite Aretha songs is "Talk to Me." Yeah, "Talk to Me." What else? It's "Talk to Me," "Sweet Love," "You Bring Me Joy," "Lead Me Into Love." She got so much like she another one that I rank high. Like if I'm giving a top artist list of all time, like Mary J. Blige, Anita Baker, Lauren Hill, and Tony Braxton, like, and Sade. I'm ranking them up there, but
don't ever sample
But
anything from
it's-
Sade. She'll sue you to death.
oh no, I will never ever.
They say Sade.
I don't sample from big artists like that. They be wilding. Like
Yo,
they don't be wanting nobody know their music.
They say Sade will take your soul, like Prince. Prince would own Prince would own your baby if you try to sample him, yo.
I believe it. I believe it.
That song is fantastic, and honestly, that's one of the songs that I listen to, and I'm here like, oh, look at her flexing, and it just the whole freaking song, fantastic. Leads me to my next favorite song on the album, and of course, it's "Everybody." This is the first single that we got, that we played for everybody. It drove everybody crazy, and I don't know how you stepped up to the plate. I got some questions I want to unravel. Let's talk. Let's talk the track with Black Thought, man. Let's talk Hustle Don't Stop. How did that song come about? How did you find out that you were rhyming with Black? I mean, how did you not explode when they told you, yeah, Black Thought's gonna be on this? Black Thought wants to get on this track with you.
Yeah, I went crazy. Because me and Apollo was really trying to figure out who to put on there because, when I got finished with this album, this was around the time the virus had hit and everything started closing down. So there's a lot of people that we was reaching out to who couldn't get into the studio. But once he got back to me, he had hit me up and told me like a week before we got the verse. He was like, we might be able to get Black Thought in here. And I was like, whoa. So Black Thought ended up reaching out to me on Instagram.
Wow.
And was like, I'm about to hop on this track with you on Apollo. Yo, you fire, keep doing, and just showing me love. And I went crazy. Got the verse back like maybe like a day later or a few days later, and I just was like, yo, this is crazy. I got a song with Black Thought.
Did you already have your verse down?
Yeah, I already had everything done. Like,
all right.
Because again, I went in and recorded everything before the virus hit.
Gotcha. Okay.
So, but when I was out in Detroit, the virus was kind of they was slowly shutting stuff down.
Yeah. I heard you went out there.
Flights and everything had been shut down all the way by that time.
You went out to Detroit what, beginning of March, mid March to start recording?
Yep. When I got back that following week, that's when they started canceling flights and stuff.
Yeah, I remember that. That's around the time they sent all the kids home. They sent us home from work. I think me and my wife went to an amusement park over here in Orlando the week right before, and already word started hitting. A couple cases found in Orlando and this that, and we were joking around with it like, oh, we're over here and this that, and we came back home. As soon as we landed back home that Monday, Tuesday, they were like, yep, your kids kids got to go back, and you guys got to work from home and stuff. Crazy, man.
No, that's a fact.
How is the Corona era and this whole COVID situation been affecting the rollout of the album? And really, the important question we have is, we play a lot of videos here in WVCC. We're like a little Yo MTV rap city here. When are we gonna get an official video for as God intended? What videos are you guys planning on rolling out?
We're working on that. We're working on that because the viruses would really screw that up. We had plans, we had a rollout planned out, but the virus messed everything up. So, but y'all definitely gonna get a video. Y'all gonna get a couple videos. We're just trying to figure out the safest way to go about that because, I'm not playing about this this virus. Like, it's it's not as bad as it was when it first started up here more, but I'm still taking a lot of precaution. I have little sisters who have asthma, so I don't even want to put anybody at risk. I don't put myself at risk. So, we're just trying to figure out the safest way to go about it. But yeah, I definitely gonna get some videos for that. This is an album that we're gonna push, for a minute. Like,
yes, man.
It's
I think
too good.
This is a fantastic album for the era that it's come out in, and it's amazing things like the song Freedom. I know you must have written that months before, and I heard you touch on it on Mike Power's interview a little. But it's funny because we hear songs like Freedom. We see albums like the Run the Jewels 4, and where they're like, yo, they wrote it just for this moment. And no, it's not that you wrote it for this moment. It's this shit's been happening for so long, and our communities have been saying it, and it's sad. It's sad when you can play so many brothers and so many artists' songs that say "I can't breathe," and you think, "Yo, this is for this." No, that was for homie in 2016, right? And it's still happening. It's still that potent today. But it's funny how life makes it happen, where it inspires you as an artist at a certain time to write something that's going to resonate with people at a time like this, and give people a voice and give people a message and something to understand and something to learn from. Because on Freedom, not only, and I do apologize, but I think your verses come second to that sample. Who's that sample from, man? That sample at the beginning and at the end. And I think you guys.
That's Dr. Umar Johnson. I actually found out about him after. Well, he has a lot of Breakfast Club interviews, but I think that he pulled that soundbite from his interviews that he had in the Hidden Colors series. I don't know if you've ever seen that, but
the Hidden Color series, no.
It's a dope series about Black history, hidden Black history.
Okay.
But yeah, no, he's a dope, very intelligent man. I'm not really a fan of his antics as of lately, but he's a very intelligent man.
Gotcha. Got to take the good and leave the bad, right? You talk a lot about faith on
That's
this.
right.
You talk a lot about not your faith, but just faith as a whole in this album, and the whole album starts off with that James Baldwin sample about I think right now God needs us as much as we need God, right? And it's talking to a belief thing, right? And hope, and you touch on faith a lot, and in an era right now where faith is being pushed aside and science is being pushed aside and everything's being pushed aside and everybody's doesn't know which way is up. What kind of role has faith played in your life?
Gives me peace. It's really, it's my peace. With everything that we are dealing with in this world, we need that. Like we need that. So for me, I'm all about, like with my music, I'm all about giving my fans and listeners an update on where I'm at in my life. I've had a huge spiritual growth this year. Like, why would I not include and talk and let them know where I stand spiritually? You don't hear a lot of rappers do that. So, they just put on it's a lot of gimmicky ways with it. I'm like, nah, I'm giving them my real life. I'm opening a page and giving y'all chapters from my life and where I stand at right now. So, it was important for me to touch on that. I didn't, to be honest with you, I didn't know how it would be received from the public. I'm actually very shocked that I'm getting all of this great feedback with, the main song where I really talked about my spirituality, money orientated, and just touching here and there on it. I'm actually surprised that these are the songs, and I'm getting this feedback from it, because I didn't know what to expect in this world we're in,
Girl,
how people are.
when you said my grandmother said that that money is the root of all evil, that it don't grow on trees, and I guess that's why the apple was grabbed on by Eve and stuff or whatever. I'm sorry, I can't recite my own rhymes. All of my audience right now is laughing because they know I fuck up rhymes all the time. But when you said that, I remember I was getting ready in the morning. You said that, I'm like, yeah, ooh, right? Because I grew up a Christian. I grew up in the church. I actually came into hip hop as a Christian hip hop artist. And there's a lot of people who whatever religion have come across and at one point have been talked to by the higher, and that resonates with them. And when you express that, and when you're not shy to express that, and when you don't doubt yourself, and you say, yeah, let me, because this is me as much, and you never know, and you're doubting, you're like, oh, they're gonna think I'm corny with this, but you don't know how much it resonates with people and how much people need. And when I heard it, honestly, I said, this is somebody who I can listen to, because she's got good information. Right. And I want to thank you for being brave enough to show all those sides of yourself. Like I said, especially nowadays, and I'm with you, right? And I'm not pushing one faith above the other or anything, but right now, with everything that's going on, we need something to hold on to, man. We need something to bring.
Yeah, and I don't even think I looked at it like, because I said I really don't care. I got to get this out. Like, I need people to know where I stand, and even if I can encourage someone else to start praying, because these are things that I'm always talking about on social media. I just was like the just the times we're in, it's not really cool to talk about your faith and what you believe in. So I just didn't. I'm just shocked. But I'm getting a lot of great response from these songs. The main song that I talk about is Money Orientated, and that's a lot of people's favorite song, and that's one of my favorite songs on there. And I knew it for months. I played that song for months.
Yo, fire, yo.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. So
real quick, lightning round, because I don't know how much long you want to stay with us. I only got one more minute here, but I just want to know, what's your favorite song off the album, if you have a favorite child on there.
Oh, it's between Daddy's Girl was my joint for a minute. Daddy's Girl and Money Orientated.
We have
those are the top two songs I play the most.
We have an OGMC in the chat room right now. One of our weekly audience. He's one of our top tier MCs out here. His name is Salazar the Tabaquero. Real what is it called? Alpha male, real freaking hard ass tall dude. And my man came on, and when I was announcing, yo, we're gonna have her, he's like, yo, that Daddy's Girl, yo, that junk brought, yo, I mean, like, man, for somebody of his stature, that junk is fire.
That shit is hard.
Oof. Oh, from the sample in the beginning to the end. What do you know what Apollo's favorite song is on it, and how did that make you feel for him to say this is my favorite?
I think Apollo's favorite joint is 94. I think that might be his favorite joint. I don't know if it changed since the album came out, but I think that's his favorite joint, because he talked about that, like, when I had the mixed version before it got mastered. He kept telling me for like a good few weeks, like, 94 is my favorite joint, man.
You got to leak out that earlier version with the different beat. I heard that there was that's not the real beat.
Listen, I got demos. I went old school. I got demos of these joints. Like, I don't never want y'all to hear that, but I got demos. Like, it's just me just trying to, because I told you, like, I was coming off my head, so I'm just trying to figure out what I want to say. Like, I took it old school and just I recorded demos for this joint. Like, I was coming with it.
Working now with Mello Music, and like I said, we have a lot of aspiring MCs here. What kind of advice could you give young up and coming MCs with dealing with indie labels and I mean, the day of the old giant labels, nobody got time for that. But we're shopping with how is Mello Music treating you? We love them over here. We play so much of their music over here. I buy everything that they drop. But how's that relationship been with you?
It's been good. Like I've been, we've been in close touch the entire time. As far as this entire ride of working on this albums from back in August when Apollo reached out all the way up until the album came out, and even still now, they're really good people over there. Any advice I will offer is always first and foremost, get a lawyer to look over your contracts. Do not just sign your name at the bottom of. Not, I'm not saying nothing about them, but when I got my contract or any contract I've got, because this ain't the only contract I've gotten. I've gotten a lot of contracts for this past year, but I can tell y'all now, you need a lawyer to look over because there's certain things and the way people can word things in contracts that can literally screw your whole life up. So just make sure you get somebody to read your contract over.
Listen, y'all. Listen. Don't invest so much money on the features and on the album cover. Get yourself a lawyer on retainer.
Man, working with any label, like, you know what I'm saying, you want to make sure you got some type of paperwork involved. Because I have a business, and at that you have, like, business things you have to take care of at the end of the year. You're making all this money. You want to make sure you're able to get money that you're putting into your business back. So, you want to have paperwork involved. Anything comes up missing as far as your money, you know what I'm saying? You got receipts.
Yes.
So, just being cautious of and aware of, what you signing and getting yourself into. But definitely have fun with it. Like I love the process of working on this album. Like Mello Music, they're good people over there.
They are fantastic, and we salute them for keeping great hip hop pumping out. They are one of our go-to beacons for great music, and I'm glad when I saw that your album was coming out on there. The first time I saw the album cover of the Buffalo. One sec, let me go ahead and put it up for people. Let me put up the Mello Music sign here. Give them a little shine on there. 1 second, I'm so sorry. So I want to end it with quoting a line that you wrote. This is, I think, on Worth Gold, which for me, 12th Hour and Worth Gold, if I would have gotten that batch of Apollo Brown beats, I would have said, oh, these two right here are something I've never heard Apollo Brown do before. That Worth Gold, holy Jesus, and you kill that junk. Is it worth gold where you say real beauty is flaws, beauty is God. Beauty is when you want to give up, but you still keep on, right? And then you talk about
that was the Apple.
That is the Apple, right? With Planet Asia. My bad, I figured through it all. But and then you start talking about believing in yourself, loving yourself, self-love, even if you got short hair and no hair. But can you just leave us with a good word on? And I must tell you, sister, and just words of encouragement, words of blessing to you, words of just affirmation. That there's people that are chosen by God and that are chosen by life, and you don't have a say in the matter. You tapped on it, and I heard you say on the Mike Powers interview when he asked you, you ever consider going into activism? You're like, yo, those are big shoes, those are heavy responsibilities, and a lot of people, you're right, they take that responsibility light, right, and they just wear it as a gimmick, right, and they end up
they're not ready.
No, and they end up bringing a lot of people down and making things look bad because of it, right? I understand your concern, and that just means that you're the right person for it. You're the type of leader we need. And unfortunately, when it comes to leadership, people don't choose to be leaders, right? They just are, right? And I'll tell you, sister, that the message that you're spreading on this album to our sisters, I can play that for my daughter, and I play it for my daughter now. I want her to take that in. All our sisters down here in South Florida that are part of our hip hop community. This past week, I was sharing your music left and right. I'm sorry, if you ever go to your Facebook, you're gonna see 1,000 posts by me, and I'm here like, why y'all talking about Will and Jada? Why y'all talking about all this stupid nonsense? Are you serious? I saw a post the other day. Oh, Nicki's. I'm here like, this album just dropped, and you talking about Nicki? Yo, are you guys listening to this? This is something you got to be paying attention to. And over here at WVCC, we are doing our part in making sure more people listen to you, Queen. The album is fantastic. What kind of message can you leave us with on, yo, beauty is not giving up when things are hard, but sticking through it. And I think now you are in a position where you can say to people, if you stick through it, you'll get to this side. So what kind of message can you leave us with that?
I mean, I took a lot of losses, on this journey. I've been on this journey with music for like, not even counting when I first started, but like just as far as the moment I said I want to take it serious, it's been like 5 or 6 years now. But in that 5 or 6 years, I've taken a lot of financial losses, that have taken a toll on me mentally, and just me believing in myself too as well. But the consistency. Anytime I ever got to a point where I was like, okay, I'm about to give up with this and just do what I got to do, something big will happen. Rather it's somebody that I didn't know is listening to my music and they shout me out and show me love, or a big opportunity to present themselves to me. And I always took that that's why as God intended, it was such an amazing and perfect title for this, because music wasn't something that because I was a type of kid. I went to school. I was the first kid in my family to graduate from college. I went to college. I had a plan. I didn't plan on being. I never saw myself.
You didn't get a degree in MCing.
No, I got a degree. I was in psychology at first, and I ended up getting a bachelor's in communications. I was gonna go and work for a news channel and be a news anchor, like build my life, have a family. Like I had a plan. Like I wanted to do all of these things. Especially with me being the first person in my family to graduate from college and go get a degree. Like I was like, oh, I'm about to go. I got my whole life planned out. I was planning it out. I never saw myself doing music, but it just kind of fell in my lap. I feel like this is where God wanted me to be. This is where, because I always prayed about letting His will be done, and I just feel like this is where He needed me. He wanted my voice to be heard. He wanted me to use this platform, and I don't know how long He allowed me to do this, but I pray that I'm able to, get to the point where I'm able to say everything that that I need to say or whatever. But just staying, I don't know, just that consistency. If it's, if it's meant for you, if it's a, a place that you're supposed to be, I should say. But I mean, I think J. Cole said it's beauty in the struggle, ugliness in the success. And it's a whole fact. It's just that consistency and that ambition. Everybody don't have that trait, but that's why I say, in the rap that you have recited, beauty is God. Beauty is when you want to give up, but you choose to be strong.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's everyone don't have that trait, but the ones who do have it, it's a beautiful thing to see.
Word.
I don't know
and
if I explained that enough,
yes, that's what I took away from it. Is beauty isn't the elegance, the dressing up nice. Beauty is going through the hard shit and being the mom that looks freaking all worn down because she's working 2 jobs and she's there cooking and stuff. But man, she is keeping the family afloat and doing what she has to do.
Watch my mom do it.
Yes, and that's what I picture.
It's always been hard for me to give up. Like, I was raised mainly for a lot of years by, my mom was a single parent. I've watched my mom literally go through hell. Okay, hell. And as a kid watching that, when you have that example in front of you, it's kind of, you get to a point where it's like, giving up is harder. Giving up is harder than what else I'm saying? Giving up is way harder than trying for me.
Yeah.
Like giving up is way harder than trying to
Gotcha.
me. It's hard for me to give up. So, but I had that example growing up. So, it's I don't know. So people, that's what I say. It's I don't know. Everyone doesn't have that trait, but the ones who do have it, it's a beautiful thing.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, and I know what you're talking about with that in the game, and that's why those who rise to the top is you got to grind your way through it. But I think the bigger message from that line and from that song and from what you're saying is that it's bigger than hip hop. It's not only you trying to make it in the industry or as an artist or as a musician, but just in life. Life don't promise any easiness, but there's beauty in going through it, struggling, and then at the end of it, you look back and you say, your mom, right? Your mom's not a gold selling artist. She's not Instagram famous and on everybody, but your mom struggled hard to make you and give you that example, so that now she went through hell so you could bring heaven to people, man. And I want to thank you for bringing this heavenly sound to us and for blessing us with this album, Che.
I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you for listening and supporting the movement.
Man, we are here. We are behind you. We are of the army of CHÉ NOIR. Anything else you want to leave our audience with?
Just keep stay tuned. I have a lot more to come. I'm working on my official solo debut, The Essence. This is an album I've been working on for a few years now. Started working on the first cut like back in 2018. So we just gonna keep building from there. I haven't really got it to sound the way that I want it to sound. So, but just keep looking, looking out for that.
Your first solo debut? What are you rhyming and producing on this too? I heard you're making beats like Kanye now.
No, it's just I am a producer though. I do produce. But it's my solo debut. It's gonna be Lord's willing, it's gonna be a couple levels up from this As God Intended. Because so far this is my best piece of work so far. So but yeah, just keep looking out for that. I appreciate the continued support. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter, CHÉ_NOIR, CHE_NOIR, and just
everybody has to go to any one of your streaming service, man. Go to wherever you buy albums. Go to Mello Music, go to Bandcamp, go to Apple Music, go anywhere right now. I'm gonna play some music right now. Don't worry, you'll be able to see it tomorrow. Go right now. Give this sister her flowers. As you see, got family back there. We are family people. We live off this art. Go support that album. Make sure that July CHÉ NOIR and Apollo Brown's album is seen as one of the top sellers this year. If we believe in good hip hop, if we want to keep good hip hop alive, we have to make sure we support it. I need every one of my, how many people we got up in here right now? Bam, I need every one of my 35 followers right now to go right now, cop CHÉ NOIR, Apollo Brown, As God Intended, yo. Yo, Chet, thank you so very much for being my first interview on WVCC. I hooked up the Zoom off for you, and you gave me the experience I need to do more, and I hope to talk to you again in the future and to build a relationship where, any music you guys got, please send it our way. We will play with all the love and respect, yo.
I appreciate you having me. Thank you.
And I don't even think I introduced myself. You're like, I'm talking to the Hispanic guy with freaking Arden as well and his daughter in the background. My name is H2O of WVCC Vice City Cypher. Y'all, go ahead and applaud over there. Let me see the emojis light up for CHÉ NOIR. Jay, I'm going to try to put this in YouTube, and I'll send you information through our homie. Jared, thank you so very much for, hold on. Jay, just so you know, I'm known in Miami for being the worst with names ever. Right, there's a running bet that I would call you CHÉ NOIR within the first 10 minutes of the interview and stuff. So a bunch of people won money off of that. For a second, I didn't even remember Jordan's name. Salute to Jordan Commander. He hooked us up with this blessing. He's hooking us up with a lot more interviews in the future. And salute to you, sister. Thank you so very much for rocking with us today.